They're songs of winter.
Okay, let me get comfortable. Alright. It's the Whiteboard Game. You have clicked on this video, or you're watching it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever you're watching it on, you've clicked on it because you want to listen to it.
Yeah,
so
you do.
Here you are.
Mm-hmm.
It is season 2, episode 10. We're getting very close to the end of the season. Maybe we'll do something special. We haven't actually decided anything. That wasn't like a, maybe something will happen. It was a maybe not. We'll see how we're feeling at the time is probably how
see whether you deserve it. Whether we're on the nice list or not, because of course it will be December by then. So
exactly. And though you are not hearing things, that is indeed Frederick Bloy next to me.
Yes, I'm here. Hello. I'm here with, as has been for the majority of this podcast so far, Chris.
You've been here every single episode, and it's been enjoyable, to say the very least.
The very least.
Yes, we are. Sorry, I feel like I just spout nonsense when I'm reading because I just don't know what to say, and that's how my brain works.
I enjoy it.
Anyways, we will talk a little bit about the game in a second, but before that, we will check in. What's been going on with you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Brief opening patter. What's been going on? Idiot been working on a project. That's exciting. Day by day, it gets closer. As you will, maybe you do know more at this point when this comes out. Who knows? But at the time of recording, you know nothing, which is exciting. I think it all sounds very good. We've had a gig at the Spice of Life as ever. That was now, what's today?
A couple
Thursday?
of years ago. Tuesday.
Why did I say
Your
Thursday?
mind's leaving you, mate.
They all start with T's, that's why.
That's the confusing bit.
Yeah, so 2 days ago, we were at the Spice of Life, and it was a very good show. It was my mother's birthday, and she came along, and she enjoyed it. She had a birthday dedication. Nepotism, yes. But then again, I can't recall anyone else who said.
Yeah, she was the only one who asked, so
yeah,
no one has an excuse.
Yeah, I'm not old enough yet to sort of resent my upbringing, in anecdotes, say, God, I can't believe my parents did this. So, I'm yet to reach an age where I'm happy in public to say to one of my parents, no, I won't do that.
Yeah. We're yet to get to the point where we say, I think this aspect of neglect in my childhood is why I don't talk to people.
That being said, I don't think I have experienced any neglect in my childhood.
I think we've been fortunate children.
Yeah. Is there anything else for me to talk about? I don't think so.
I think you've done a pretty good job.
Yeah. Coming up to one of my favourite one-day holidays in the UK. You think I'm going to say Halloween? I'm not going to say Halloween. I don't like Halloween.
We're not allowed to like Halloween.
No. I mean, look, I think maybe just because it's that time of year, I like the cold months. I think the vibes are excellent. I will say that. But I don't like the whole dress-up thing. I don't really get it. But I am fond of the 5th of November. I am fond of the 5th of November. Because I don't really like home fireworks because, disturbs wildlife and all of that. But one that's pre-planned and organised by the council. I'm lucky enough to live in an area of London that even though they've cancelled the fireworks like 3 years in a row now, which is such a shame, they have got it on this year. And when they do it, it's very good. I stand by it being maybe the best in the capital. I don't know. But it's back on this year, so I'm looking forward to that. I am still a child. I will go ooh and ah. No, I've got good memories of it. So it's like nostalgic. That's me. Chris, what's going on, man?
I'm chill. Basically the same as you, really. Nothing much. Idiot Twin's been going well. In terms of gigs we got coming up, I think for the people listening, this will be put up in December, so we might have a gig in Shepherd's Bush, maybe.
I wish I keep neglecting to confirm, but I will do that today now you've said it.
Yeah, so it's not confirmed yet, so maybe we're not doing it, but hopefully we will.
Yeah.
So that'll be happening probably on the 16th. We'd love to see you there. There'll be more information on our social medias, so always be checking. And the last thing I wanted to say before getting into the podcast was we hope you enjoyed the last one. It was the first one with a guest, which is very cool. We loved having Tom Branscombe on. I feel like because we generally know each other's musical taste quite well, I feel like it can be a bit alienating for new people on. But I think we know him well enough to put him through the trial of fire, as it were. And I hope we weren't too mean. He is a more than welcome guest to have again. Unless he feels like he was done dirty.
I don't think he does. I suppose an extension of that, if you like Idiotwin, if you like the podcast, if you are very passionate about music, why not? Unless you told me to shut up, I'll open it up to strangers. If you want to be a guest and you're not a creep, you have no unspent convictions.
No creeps, please.
If you have a DBS, that will be a bonus. We're not children, but it just proves that you're safe. The collaboration was fun. We're looking to do more, I suppose. So, let us know. I mean, let us know if you have any suggestions or any opinions on it ever. We're always open to hearing it. Even if we do go, you're wrong, and then block you, which we won't, unless you're like rude. But no, even if you're rude, I'm not that kind of person. So, that's all I have to say.
Cool. So today's theme is, I'm not sure if you remember, we did a summer theme not too long ago, a few games ago maybe. This is the converse of that. We are doing a winter theme.
Ooh, chilly.
We're not strictly in winter at the moment. It's still October.
I'd say it's definitely autumn still.
But this will be uploaded in December in the height of, well, I suppose not the height of winter, but the start of winter, arguably.
So is this the edition that will be closest to Christmas then?
Technically the one after will, because that will be uploaded on New Year's Day.
Thank you for clarifying. Well, I'll say then. Yeah. I'll say it now and I'll say it at the end. Have a nice Christmas, guys. Happy holidays, whether you celebrate or not. Time for family. Time to enjoy the cold. I like the cold. Merry Christmas.
Enjoy the cold. Yes. Do as best you can. So it is, for the most part, aside from that, what you would expect of a whiteboard game.
Yeah.
We're going to be guessing the artist. We're going to be guessing the title of the track. We're probably going to be guessing the genre as well.
Yeah.
You might have thought, and even the year.
Yeah.
But there's not going to be a fifth category. I'm not really sure there's a way of fitting that into the game.
No.
Neither of us have a joker. So you're going to be getting 20 bits of music we think reflect winter in some sort of way. And you can tell us if you agree with us or not. So I can't think of anything else.
I can't think of anything
to mention. No. So let's go.
Yeah.
I hope the audience are as enthusiastic as you.
Let's go! Come on!
I do believe that I guess first.
Okay.
I think if whoever hosts guesses first, I do believe that was the famous catchphrase that we have coined and used so many times.
It is so famous. I've seen people with T-shirts. Not with that catchphrase on, I've just seen people with T-shirts.
I need to change my settings because it's currently not over here.
Oh, Chris, new gimmick as you're typing in your answer to be considered for future games. What if we had special power-ups we could use once in the game, so you could choose one of your answers to be double points?
Like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Tom did sort of prompt that last time.
Yeah,
we could do a double points round. I think that's a good idea.
You want to implement it today or next time?
Do you know what? I think that would be a good thing for the next season.
Cool. Next season, good shout. Good shout. Speaking of seasons, winter.
Indeed. I've now got my audio working so I can actually hear the music as I type it. This was quite an alt-rocky sort of jam sort of thing. That's a genre I put, but we're going to start with the artist. We're mean, there's loads of alt rockers. You know, it's a minefield, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to think of who I'd be happy putting with this, who it might be.
Yeah.
And maybe who I think you might have been listening to prompt you to use them. And I put a band called Catfish and the Bottlemen. If you remember them.
Of course I remember them, yeah.
I can't remember if they have some controversies. I feel like they do.
Oh, do they?
I can't remember. Or maybe it was just the fact that they used a swear in one of their songs, and when I first heard it, I was young, so I thought, "Oh, that's a no-no."
Yeah, which one is it? It's I know exactly which one you're thinking of. Yeah. Screw it if they talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the FIFA version. That's how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was called I'm Not Sure Why, because they said that in the track in it. Alt rock, as I said. And 2012, I put a general. I thought might be around that time. There you go. That's my answer.
You're starting off the game with a point,
not bad.
which is more than none. You know.
To put it optimistically.
Sort of the sole reason I chose is because it's a song that I did know had existed for a long time, but I think it was winter of 2023. I decided it was just quite good, and it was just on the sort of the regulation playlist, as it were. I don't know why, it just really clicked with me at that time. But it just so happens that the band are also wintry and that they're called Snow Patrol. So that works as well. It's called Spitting Games. 2003. Indie rock, I've given you the point for the genre.
Thank you.
Because in many ways they're the same thing. Indie, I don't know, indie and alternative, we might have discussed this on the podcast before, but at least I think have become such meaningless words.
Yeah.
Indie once upon a time did genuinely mean something to do with the independent nature of the music. But now you call something indie rock and you look at the band playing it and you go, mate, you've got a 5-album record deal. You're not independent at all. No. So I don't really know what it means anymore. In many ways they're interchangeable, indie rock and alternative rock for me anyway. Do I have anything to say about Snow Patrol? Nah, as I say, it's just for some reason the song clicked in, I think, winter 2023. And so I just associate it with cold months. That's quite literally it. I suppose I will say I think it has one of my top opening lines of any song ever, which is, you get the sort of opening riff and the first thing he says is, I broke into your house last night. And you go, oh okay.
Did you... I didn't see any smashed windows or...
Well, exactly. There's no evidence. You must be pretty good.
Thank you for doing it so politely.
Yeah. I guess in the table of songs I know about burglars or references to burglary, this is maybe bottom of the pile for creepiness, because he just says it and then it turns out to be a love song or whatever it is. Number one would probably be Intruder by Peter Gabriel. Because he, amongst incredibly strange lyrics about sniffing clothes and things, he also, as part of his ensemble for that, includes the sounds of like twisting wires, which sounds, if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, I imagine it make you grit your teeth. It's like nails on a chalkboard kind of thing. But yeah, 1 point for Snow Patrol. They have the word snow in it. Cheeky little wintry bonus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, yeah. I feel like they're a band which, if you grow up in the UK, you sort of know.
Everyone knows Chasing Cars, and everyone knows Chasing Cars.
Kind
of like...
well, apart from me, because I didn't get it. But
well, no. It's... I describe them as like a singles band.
Yeah, I think I agree.
I don't really know anyone who's ever sat down and listened to an album, which might be quite offensive. I hope it isn't. Similar maybe to something like Keane. I know I've listened to... Well, we've both listened to at least one album of theirs. But again, I think for a lot of people, Keane are a British 2000s singles band. Right?
Yeah. I do think Hopes and Fears is very good.
It's a great album. So you're number one, Chris. You gave me a lot of hippity hoppers and instrumentally boys. That's not me complaining. It's just an observation. And so I had to try and think which hippity hopper or instrumental hippity hopper would each one be. And this one, I put the man who can't spell his own name. Knxwledge. Could be wrong. I trying to remember it. It didn't strike me as being as... I know what I mean when I say this. It didn't strike me as being as fun enough to be Dilla. But I'm not sure. I called it Blizzard because it's a winter game and I didn't have much else to go off. 2016, I said instrumental hip hop or glitch pop. Or glitch hip hop.
Glitch pop.
Glitch hop. I think I meant to write glitch hop. I don't know why I've written... Yeah, in my notes I've got glitch hop. I mean glitch hop.
Yeah. 2 points for
thank you. Cool.
Good start. You're just out with a year.
That's a shame.
Unlucky, it is Knxwledge.
Hey, that might be a first. I don't think I've ever got him like that before.
I feel like you have. I feel like you have. Don't doubt yourself. You've got him before, I think.
Thank you.
It's titled as a Knxwledge track title would
No
be
chance.
fairly incomprehensible. wintrshun, which
nice.
I think is probably him naming the project file, wanting to call it Winter Sun, but just, I don't know, being drunk and typing it poorly.
Just being fun.
Probably how I can imagine you come to a title like that. Yeah, instrumental hip hop. You can tell it's Knxwledge because you just got a bunch of random, just vocal lines just mixed in everywhere.
Thank you for giving me a calling card for future. Thank you.
And 2012 was when it came out. This is off of an EP of his called Butterscotch. I think he had a few albums and EPs around that time, which I've listened to a lot of because I used his music for studying for my A-levels. Yeah. Which I got 3 Bs, so you can assess how helpful it was in my studying. I think, depending on if you think those are good grades or not.
Look, for context, I think our A-level days were ones of broad change for essay-based and creative subjects. I think they changed the curriculums and mark schemes and things for all of them in one go. We were also the guinea pigs for the number system.
It's our generation.
Yeah. So I think for that year, I think Bs are actually quite impressive. I would say.
Not bad. Our year was stiffed a bit, but it's not an excuse. It's just an explanation. Yeah, I mean, it does say winter in the title of the track, which, much like your Snow Patrol guess, is a clear indicator that at least the person who made it feels like it's wintry.
Yeah.
It does properly feel wintry, though. It's cold.
I agree.
I
did think this was wintry.
The sound that he's used sounds like a cold breeze, I suppose. I don't necessarily know if I'd say that like a glitchiness lends itself to it being wintry. Maybe you can, if I were to, write an English essay, maybe I would compare it to, trees losing their leaves, sort of not decomposing or decaying per se, but just sort of,
I think you get marks for that.
Being
I think
affected, perhaps. Yeah. If I were writing a long essay, I would probably lean very heavily on that point. But as I say, it just reminds me of winter. I think I used it on one of my elusive Instagram stories of just a picture and some music when I went on a walk after it had snowed, which is always a nice time to go for a walk. There you go. I wouldn't say his music necessarily lends itself to winter, but this track definitely.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. You've got yourself 2 points.
Thank you very much. I will take the 2 points. And once again, gear for the oncoming instrumental hip hoppers that we have still got to get through. I've got one down, folks. I'm impressed I got one, but there are more to come.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. You're number 2. Moving on swiftly. There's a lot of, I feel like it's a track which you could probably put loads of people for. And I know when listening to it, I thought, I'm sure there's a name here that's in my mind.
Sure.
It reminds me of a track of theirs that I'd want to put. I don't think I could think of who that was.
Okay.
Maybe it's who I've put, but I can't definitively say.
Sure.
I guessed it was the Caretaker. Made a pretty safe guess there. I guess it was called B3, mainly because of how I assume his album Everywhere at the End of Time is organised. And I thought, I mean, there's a decent amount of noise in there. The sample he's used is far back in the mix, maybe. So it feels like it's sort of progressing onto a darker stage, more incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Which I haven't listened to the album, but from what I understand, that's the sort of generally what it's about. I put lo-fi jazz / noise ambient.
Yeah.
And 2017, when I think that album was made, leaning heavily on the idea that it is the Caretaker. I'm not totally convinced, but we'll see how effective that guess is.
Going to, as this will be uploaded in the season of giving, I'm going to give you 1 point for the genre.
Cheers.
I regret to tell you that it might not have been an artist you were ever going to get. I'm sorry.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, the Caretaker is a valid guess. I have listened to Everywhere at the End of Time, as I think has been discussed on the podcast. I think we've done a podcast episode where I do talk about it.
I think so.
And yeah, he does title them A1, A2. He gives them actual titles, but you also get the letter number combination as well, cool. Which more clearly represents, I guess, stage.
The stages, yeah.
The Bs are still very, very, very sort of legible. You can understand what's going on there. It's just you got a bit of sort of static in the background. Now, like every minute, the record might skip once, and it's just this sort of lingering. What's going
Something's
on? I don't
happening.
like it. When you get to the Cs, it's when you start to go, why is it echoing a bit more? And then onwards, I think at that point you start to get into like stage 4 and that, and you're a bit, oh dear. I'll leave it there because we're not talking about Everywhere at the End of Time. We're talking about CRT, then 2 characters I don't know the meaning of. It's called Frozen Oceans. 2021, I've written Death Dream and Broken Transmission as the genres. I've given it mainly for noise ambient.
Thank you.
It's ambient with some static to it. So yeah. This is, again, I've spoken about it before, this sort of Death Dream deep dive I went on when I saw this YouTube video, and it was like, is this the darkest music genre in the world? And then it's just glitch ambient
just
stuff.
Eerie ambient.
Yeah, eerie ambient. It's dark. That's what it is. It's dark ambient music with some sort of implicit narrative of someone dying somehow. It's not. Look, some releases are quite evocative. The majority of them, you just kind of listen to it, just go, this is just an electronic album. It's just a dark ambient album. I'm not, I don't feel creeped out. This is one of the better ones. Okay. It's called Winter Paralysis. But I think it's like parts 1 to 5. I think it was 5 individual albums that Mr. CRT has then put all together. Mr. or Mrs. CRT, I suppose. And so it's not short. It's not, outrageously long, but it is quite evocative. I do like this one. It does feel very cold.
It does, yeah.
I think this is one of the things. I mean, this is a more explicit one. The thing's called Winter Paralysis. The track's called Frozen Oceans, right? The story is someone wandering through a blizzard, I think, and eventually they don't find any help. That's how they die. But I think they do very well at making it seem quite barren and quite isolated. I think the static creates a good illusion of a blizzard raging. And so you can hear maybe sounds coming from distant villages or cars or whatever, and you think, or maybe this is I might be saved, but you're not. And then maybe do you even start hallucinating the noises as you become more delirious? I like this release. In my sort of Death Dream archives, I'd put this as quite a high one from all the ones I've listened to thus far. I suppose the last thing I'd say on it is generally I understand why things that could come under the death dream or broken transmission, which is the whole sort of glitchiness. Umbrella might be controversial because I can imagine some people listening to stuff like this and thinking this is really lazy because you've just taken a sample, made it skip a couple of times and put static behind it. To people who have that opinion, I would say wait until you discover a genre called barber beats. I don't know if you're familiar with this genre, but wait until you discover that. If this annoys you, oh boy, oh boy. Maybe we'll talk about it on the podcast one day, but not today. That will be a point for you, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I feel like with that point, generally, it's sort of, I mean, you can do that with any sort of music. You can boil it down to its major simplicities, really, and have an argument as to why you don't like it. But it's art ultimately, and so
it is art. The
effort put into it doesn't equate to how much someone is allowed to take out of it as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I've said. I will very readily admit that a large amount of stuff that people would put under this Death Dream umbrella is just dark ambient music, is what it is. But you do get stuff like this, which is, at the very least, you can tell there's been clear thought into making it feel a certain way. This one does very well at creating a feeling. It feels cold, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I like this one. Your number 2. Was another instrumental hippity hop man.
Back to back.
And so I'm scrolling through the Chris archives here. Who else could we put? The sample of the vocals or the vocal appearance or whatever, however you want to put it, was handled differently to who we now have confirmation was Knxwledge in the first one. I put DJ Shadow. I said No Way Back. I think that was said. I said 2001. I said instrumental hip hop or IDM because I associate that with DJ Shadow. I'm not sure if this. No. Okay, I'm wrong.
It's more Aphex Twin.
Okay, my apologies. I'm not as clued up, but
if you think DM is like dance music,
yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I've just copied my last guess. Well, you have 2 points again. And one of those again is for the artist. It is DJ Shadow.
How am I doing it?
I was too obvious. They're too obvious to guess. Their styles are too reflective.
Is this off of? Should I know this?
No.
Okay.
The track is called "What Does Your Soul Look Like?" Part 2. The 2 parts that are on his big album introducing are parts 1 and 4.
Okay, cool.
But trip hop / instrumental hip hop. I think the darkness lends itself to the trip hop aspect of it.
Yeah, of course. I don't know why I didn't put that. Of course.
And then, I mean, you still got a point, so you're all good.
Thank you.
And then 1995, a little bit before introducing, because I think that's when the EP for this came out. It's just called "What Does Your Soul Look Like?"
Okay.
As an EP, and there's different parts. I think I used in another one of my cryptic Instagram stories. I thoroughly enjoy Midnight Mass.
Yes.
Go in the past few years, and it's absolutely quality. Would heavily recommend, even if you're not a Christian. They're vibes, absolute vibes.
We're talking about autumn and winter having top tier vibes here. Midnight Mass is one of those occasions.
And on my way home from them, normally I do a cryptic, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you do.
From the abyss. It's just my fate, very, very subtly glowed by the street lights on my way home from Midnight Mass. I enjoy the dichotomy of the abyss mixed with such a happy holiday of Christmas.
It does feel like, against the odds, you're being cursed at Christmas time instead of blessed.
Yes. Yeah, it's like a cursed image. Yeah. It's fun. And one of the years I put this track behind it. And I try to choose music I feel reflects the sort of darkness and coldness that I'm experiencing. Well, maybe not the darkness. I'm elated after another great Midnight Mass, but the darkness that's around me, perhaps.
The darkness reference? Christmas time, don't let the bells end.
Oh, there is a connection there. You're right. Yeah. I think. I mean, it's not. This track isn't on Introducing, but I think Introducing generally is a dark album.
Yeah.
And I feel like I associate that darkness with cold. It's darker longer in the winter. Maybe that's where that association comes from. I think it's just so clever that this is. Well, I suppose him generally as well. He's an artist who uses pretty much only samples. But the atmosphere is so easy to capture. The atmosphere of his tracks. It's always consistent. I feel, especially in Introducing, and I have a lot of respect for that. Because I don't think that's an easy thing. The flow is very coherent in that album. I remember at uni, my friend Mark went to, I'm not sure where he went, but he came back and it was quite late, and he said, as I was, perusing, I was listening to Introducing, and I thought, oh, that's such a perfect time to be using it, because it's late, you're wandering around, it feels like it captures the atmosphere of everything. And so that was very cool. I've never really delved deeper with DJ Shadow. I feel like his albums after this are quite polarizing. A lot of people don't like them.
Okay.
Which is a shame, but he has given us a beautiful piece of art.
Yeah.
This track is like 13 minutes long, and it doesn't necessarily change up too much different points, just sort of brings things in, takes things out. But the main part of it is it's like a guitar riff. It's a sample from a Foreigner song, which I mean, if you sort of think, we're talking about dark sort of aspects of his music here. Foreigners they don't make dark music. No. They're quite uplifting, aren't they?
Yeah.
So to take that and make it dark, I feel that's quite impressive. There's vocals at points which remind me a bit of the vocals in Midnight in a Perfect World, in that they're not really in tune, but they're like perfectly out of tune to where
just aids the feeling of
it gives it aids the eeriness. You're exactly right about that. So yeah, very nice track. All of the What Does Your Soul Look Like parts are brilliant. Brilliant tracks. So I would heavily recommend the EP. I think on Rate Your Music, I think it's the number 1 EP for 1995. So if you ever needed more of a reason.
Yeah. I couldn't name you any other EPs from 1995 off the top of my head, but fair play.
I'm not sure if Balls of Canada had an EP out in that year. I think they did.
Get wrecked.
But it's also off of a compilation of his called Preemptive Strike, which I also haven't listened to, but it seems like there's a lot of good tracks in there. So it's basically me saying I need to really delve deeper with DJ Shadow. I really need to. But anyways,
go
there you
deeper
go.
into the shadows, am I right?
Absolutely. The shadow of winter. So there we go. Enjoy your 2 points.
I will. I am also a fellow who has only listened to Introducing myself at your recommendation.
Yeah.
Midnight in a Perfect World is my favourite, probably, off of it.
Fair.
But yeah, it's been a long time since I have listened to it, to be fair, so maybe a re-listen is beckoning.
I mean, for me, I feel like I couldn't choose a favourite. All of the tracks are just tasteful.
I mean, well, you love the album.
It is one of my favourite. But yeah, anyways. Next one. Let me play it again to remind myself of it. I feel like I recognise the voice.
Okay.
And I think who I've put is this person.
Well, I'd hope so. You put it as your answer.
But it did take, well, I can't confirm it is. I hope it is. Maybe it'll be my first artist correct guess today. I thought it was, I only listened to an album of this person's. I think they're called Jordaan Mason with 2 A's in the Jordaan, I do believe. Their voice reminded me of the tracks you've used of theirs before.
That's fair.
At the end, I couldn't discern exactly what he said, but it felt like he was saying our bodies will be our lanterns.
Okay.
There's a bit of a misinterpretation there, but I put chamber folk for the chamber folkiness and art pop as well. Maybe not really pop, maybe art folk. But in terms of the ensemble that was listed here, I feel reflected the artiness. And 2009, I vaguely remember that being the year that the album You Like of theirs came out.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely 2 points.
it is.
The question is, do I mark you down for disrespecting Jordan Mason's Horse Museum and not including that ensemble as part of the artist?
Oh, yeah.
And of course I don't. I give you 3 points.
Thank you.
Because that would be, I think, quite silly.
It would be nasty.
As I've said, this is uploaded in the season of giving. So,
Mr. Grinch.
it is Jordan Mason with their horse museum.
With their horse museum.
It's called Avalanches. It wasn't Our Lanterns, it was
Museum.
Avalanches.
Oh.
Our bodies will be avalanches.
I see.
2009, exactly correct. I said chamber folk and anti-folk. I've never looked up what anti-folk means, but I see it thrown around as a genre with this album included. Divorce Lawyers, I Shaved My Head. And it does make sense to me, I think. I don't, as I say, I know no technical or given definition of the term anti-folk. So I'm making my own definition here. And by that, it's like folk, but a bit more barren.
Like more avant.
Yeah, more avant-garde, I suppose. It doesn't follow structures or patterns that you might expect. And this album does do that. So, yeah. But 3 points, highest score so far. Very good.
Thank you.
What do I have to say that I haven't already said on podcasts about this album, but maybe I just want to repeat myself anyway? I think this is an incredibly important album. I think everyone should listen to it because of the uniqueness of perspective it brings. It is so densely written, so it's not necessarily easy to even understand what's being said at times because the metaphors that are used are so thick and so extended, and they come in such large groupings. It's never just one metaphor. You know, it's always... It's just, very, very dense writing. I think that's artful. But I understand some people may just see it as impenetrable at times and just go, well, I give up. Not even give up. I'm not trying to slight people who do that, but may just go, well, this isn't for me. And that you're allowed to do that. That's fine. Yeah. But if you give it the time and try and understand what Jordan Mason is saying, it is... I mean, rewarding is the wrong word because rewarding makes it sound like at the end of it you go, yes, I figured it out. But your reaction is more so, oh, I figured it out. Because not only would I say it's incredibly important listen, I'd say it's one of the bleakest listens I've ever had. Because it presents a perspective on transgender identity and relationships, which is unique. Because whilst it celebrates that in how open and transparent it is, it shows you a reality that is harsh and brutal of not recognizing oneself. And as a result, a very confused relationship, which at times lyrically is so forward with sort of like the sexual side of it. To the point it will make you uncomfortable because you get these very, very dense metaphors, and so sometimes you figure them out and you go, oh God, that's what's being said. Oh God, oh my God. Or at times you get all these metaphors and then Jordan Mason will just go, I'm just going to say this without metaphor now. I'm just going to give you a lyric about fill in the blank here, you know, and you just go, oh no, you have just said that. You have written that down and then just sung it and then released the album and you have just said that, and that is really forward. Okay, more forward than you would think. Like you probably think I'm being like a Puritan here and not saying stuff, but it's there are certain things that I'd rather you find out for yourself. I do love this album for everything it tries to do and I think succeeds in doing. The perspective, the lyric writing. I like folk music generally, but it's a proceed with caution for me. The winteriness comes twofold. I think music that is barren, music that doesn't really... I think music without, for me... Let me reword this. Folk music that doesn't do much in terms of production, just records the instruments and then puts it out there. So much so that sometimes you can even hear like bum notes on a guitar, or when the backing singers might be ever so slightly flat or something like this. Like there's no shame in it. They just kind of give it to you. That feels quite cold to me. Mm-hmm. But then also, the first time I listened to this was maybe 2 winters ago now, and I live quite close to the river. And I was walking along there, and it gets dark quite early, so I was doing these dusk walks. And at the time I was listening to it, just sort of going, oh, this is really sad. But I, you know, yeah, this is a cool album. And then I look back on that time now and I go, yeah, I know why I found that cool, because I was sad too. I see that now. But I guess it was just a perfect coinciding of everything. It was dark, it was cold. I didn't realise how sad I was at the time. This album is incredibly sad. It all matched up. So I have a personal winteriness with it. I think it is cold in of itself. I cannot recommend it enough because I think it is so important in terms of the perspective it offers. But as I say, please proceed with caution. It is bleak. It's a difficult listen. But most importantly for you, Chris, 3 points. Congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you.
I think that is maybe the 3rd time I've used Divorce Lawyers. I've shaved my head.
Yeah.
I mean, even the title. I mean, even the album art actually is so cold. I want to say it is maybe Jordan Mason or someone they hired for it, but just sat with a horse mask on in what looks like a cabin somewhere in the woods at night, and they're holding a shotgun, I think.
Yeah.
It's just bleak. Just feels bleak. Anyway, hopefully on to less bleak topics. But you might tell me, oh, actually, Fred, this song is about death. I think with yours, when I can't figure out who it is, I get quite scared at the moment, because I think it is just a band that you've used multiple times and I just haven't got to the bottom of, which probably is what's happened. I know it's not these people, but I've just, when I don't know who it is, I just try to play a Chris card. So I said Pavement.
Down tempo.
Oh yeah, because it just felt chill.
It's more electronic, isn't it? Down tempo.
Does it have to be electronic down tempo?
I think that's what I associate it more with.
Well,
not so much like rockier stuff.
See, I didn't like. See, this is it. I listened to this. I didn't feel it was rocky. I don't know. I didn't. Yeah, there were guitars, I suppose, but I said it was Where I Belong. 1995. I did put down tempo because just in my head that means like it's. I wanted to put slowcore without putting slowcore, because it's not slowcore, but it has the energy of a slowcore song. You're joking. Okay, well there you go. That's my answer.
I understand it's a season of giving, but I really don't think it's down tempo.
Well,
so
he's stolen Christmas from me. He's stolen Christmas from me. You can at home decide, how much you dislike him for doing that, but that's fine.
It's not down tempo. It's Yola Tengo as well. A band who I have used.
Oh, and
a
I'm
few
thinking,
times.
yeah, surely I'm in because of the 5-year range, but no, I'm not because it's okay.
Only just 2000. Yeah, Yola Tengo.
Boo!
Enjoy Yola Tengo.
No, I'm gonna give over.
Brother. Yola Tengo. I do enjoy their stuff. Last Days of Disco is the title of the track. Slowcore indie rock. Rate Your Music told me slowcore.
Why do I not put slowcore?
It's not inherently a slow tempo, but the mood of it.
Yeah,
it's not a. Yeah, it is slow. If that makes sense. / indie rock. I also put.
Well, see, now I know it's Yola Tengo.
They are known as the quintessential indie rock band. In 2000 it was off of their album, which I'd say is maybe my favourite of theirs, called And Then Nothing Turned Itself Inside Out, I believe.
Is that the yellow one?
They have some, no, that's, it's the blue one.
Oh, the blue one, okay, I'm with you.
One.
I'm with you.
This is I feel like maybe some of the reason why Yola Tengo catches you out is because they have two singers,
Yes.
a female and a male one, and they switch quite a bit. Not indistinctive, but if you're less familiar with them, which I suppose you are, then it's harder to guess.
Yeah.
I don't totally know what this track is about, but I've given you a bit from the chorus, which when he sings about, I think he says, and the song says, "Let's be happy," and I was happy. It never made me happy before, or something like that. No, I hear it and I'm happy more and more. There you go, that's the lyric.
Okay.
And the song said, "Don't be lonely," and I was lonely. I hear it and I'm lonely more and more. And I've thought about it quite a bit. I tried not to look it up in terms of what other people think it's about. I can't really place anything, maybe in terms of like hearing songs and that matching how you feel. Last Days of Disco, maybe disco being a sort of, I don't know, like a happier sort of genre perhaps, and it's sort of...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe looking at it a bit bleaker. But I think the wintry comparisons link more with the mood it portrays. It is, I mean, you said down tempo, but in like in what you would call this genre, a more slowcore, a more indie rock sort of sense. It does have that sort of mood.
Yeah.
The same mood associated with it, I suppose. I think there are bass chords as well. Ooh. I think that's the main bulk of the chords being played. Bass chords I always feel are quite mellow.
Yes,
generally.
I think that's fair.
The drum playing it's rhythmic, but it's also sparse in terms of I don't know how to describe it. I feel like the reverb on the drums aids the sparseness. It feels like a large space, arguably barren.
Yeah, I get that.
Associate more with winter. It's just a track where the vibes are quite sad, generally.
Okay.
And while I don't associate sadness with winter generally, I do enjoy spring and summer quite a bit more. So I find that the setting of winter is maybe a bit sadder for me.
But things die, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my answer. Yeah, I haven't delved any deeper with Yola Tengo. There's maybe a few more albums I'd like to get to of theirs.
Yeah. Well, you enjoy them.
Yeah. But there you go.
Have I asked you before what Yola Tengo means? Do we know that? Isn't Yo I? Am I wrong in saying that?
It does. Let me look. Let me Google translate this. Yeah, it is a Spanish term, as you would assume.
Things that end in O suggest I.
It says I have it.
I have it.
Google Translate says. Maybe it's not exactly that. If we maybe switch the two over, now it just says lo tengo in Spanish when I switch them over. Switch them back over a bunch of times and suddenly you have something incoherent.
Yes.
Because Google Translate doesn't work properly.
We have something that we're not allowed to say on the podcast.
But yeah, I think it's... I feel like I've watched something where they talk about it before and there is a good amount of meaning behind it.
Oh, okay. Are any of them Spanish?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think any of them are Spanish. They might have heritage, but not, they are an American band, as they say in their track title. We're an American band.
That does give quite a big hint.
Yeah, genuinely a brilliant song by them. One of their best. Would heavily recommend. But I'm going to move on to your fourth one.
Okay.
Which was glitchy.
Yes, it was.
Very stuttery.
Yes, it was.
And I could have gone down a path of who does this feel most like in terms of what I've listened to. But I felt it was probably a smarter decision to go down a path of who do I know that you've listened to? Maybe, I mean, it might be a bit like your second one where it is just an artist that I just have very little chance of guessing. but I felt like I know that this person has a lot more weird, glitchy sort of stuff. I haven't listened to a lot of that stuff per se, but from what you've told me, it feels like they have more of this sort of stuff. I've guessed Telepath. I said it was called Just Snow, and then in brackets, but in Mandarin or something, because he titles his tracks in sometimes in Mandarin, sometimes in Japanese. I've sort of scattergunned my genres as a vaporwave / slush wave, just to make it more telepath, and also broken transmission, just because from what I understand of that genre, it felt appropriate with the stutteriness. And then 2015, just a middle of the park sort of range.
I'm going to give you 2.5.
Thank you.
Because you've Hail Mary'd a half point on the title.
Okay.
Good pattern recognition with it being a winter game, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
And it is the season of giving.
Thank you.
So, Telepath does have glitchy stuff, but I'm afraid I have like track 2, giving you little chance of the artist, I'm afraid.
Okay.
This is an artist called Brutalbital. Brutalbital, I don't know. The track is called Endless Snow, off of an album called Endless Snow. It was released in 2016. I have Broken Transmission, Glitch, Sound Collage, and Death Dream. Because it is from one of these playlists I worked through a long time ago as well. I say a long time ago, it was only a few months. Again, it's not even a genre I like. If you were to ask me, Fred, what your favourite genre is, I wouldn't say Death Dream. I just think it gives me some good electronic albums.
Yeah, you just find it interesting.
Yeah. This should be higher in my rankings. I re-listened to it in the lead up to this game. This should be higher in my estimation, this album, because it is really unique. I think the first time I listened to it, I just found it really jarring because it is just glitchy the whole way through. But now that I've, since then developed an even wider appreciation of the possibilities of electronic music. For instance, I've since delved into One-O-Trix Point Never. Or as he is correctly called, Oniotrix Point Never, famously. But I enjoy this much more now. I see the artistry in it. I think it's very, very well made. I don't think it necessarily sounds like Endless Snow. Maybe it does. Maybe quite a violent blizzard. I don't know. But it has the coldness and the, I guess, music that feels distant, that it's like music that doesn't even really want you to listen to it, if that makes sense. I'm getting a bit John Cagey here, where music just exists for itself. That feels cold and that feels wintry. As if it's just doing its own thing. You just happen to walk past and listen to it. It's not trying to sound nice. It's not trying to sound like it was made for human consumption. It just exists, and maybe the cold has got into it and now it's choking. I don't know. That got poetic, didn't it? I don't actually have much to say about this. I just think what it is a bit of an out there electronic music recommendation if you want something a bit weird, a bit different, a bit unique. I haven't listened to anything other by this producer, but this is, as I say, a nice little gem amidst a whole morass of electronic music on YouTube and Bandcamp and everything. That I give to you in the season of giving.
Thank you.
If you want a weird electronic music recommendation, this is my one on today's podcast. No disrespect to Winter Paralysis, it is still a recommendation. It's just less weird. It's slightly more predictable than this. This is out there. 2.5 points.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Still trying to figure out whether it is just Brutalbital, as you should pronounce the word brutal. Or like which word are you going with the pronunciation? Brutal, and then you pronounce bittle accordingly, or bital, and then you pronounce brutal accordingly.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe.
Yeah, 50-50. So for the first time in your extracts, I feel I have genuinely recognised at least a voice on it.
Okay.
I hope I did anyway. Don't do these noises with me.
Oh, it just surprises me. I'm intrigued to see your answer.
Don't, man. Please. I thought it sounded like Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay.
So I put Earl Sweatshirt. Cheeky little Radiohead reference. He said no surprise. What do you say? No surprise, like mate or bruv or something. He said it's some slang term for pal.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember which one it was. Definitely not mate. That's too English.
Yeah, maybe bruh or something.
But he did say no surprise. He did say that. And he paused after saying it. So I thought maybe that's a line I meant to make the title. Maybe he wants me to focus on it. I said 2018 experimental hip hop.
Okay. I'm going to give you 2 points.
Okay, thank you.
It is a season of giving, and while it's not, I wouldn't say it's experimental hip hop. There are tinges, and it is definitely hip hop.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
So you can have that.
I went off the fact that I'm hoping it is Earl Sweatshirt. That's why I put the experimental bit in.
Yeah. It's not Earl Sweatshirt. It is someone who is related to stylistically to Earl Sweatshirt.
Do you agree it sounds like him?
It does sound like him,
okay,
yeah. And
you.
this person's had those comments thrown his way before.
Okay.
I think it's unfortunate in how talented a rapper is with Earl Sweatshirt and how poetic he is. In that if you possess that and you're good at it as well, you're just going to get those comparisons.
Sure, I hear you.
Because there's a lot of ways of rapping in this sort of style that isn't as poetic and isn't going to be as filled with as many metaphors and just cleverness as Earl Sweatshirt. So if you do a good job enough, like this artist does, in my opinion, then you're going to get those comparisons. This is someone who you probably recognise the name, Mavi.
Oh, I have listened to
Let the Sun Talk.
I have, a long time ago. I'm not. I don't remember it as clearly, but I definitely have listened to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Mavi. I think his actual name is Mavi.
Yes,
so Mavi
I
is
remember you telling me this. Yeah.
I don't know, like a nickname, I suppose. The track is called I, as in the eye that you used to see.
Yes.
/ I and I, as in the I used to describe yourself.
Yes.
/ Nation. Because it is 3 songs in one, technically.
Okay.
You have a couple beat switches. This is maybe my favourite section, which is the I and I section, which at the beginning of the extract he says I and I, and I and I and I and I and I, although it's a bit incomprehensible when you say it over and over again.
Is this the one where it started with him moaning?
There's a couple in mine which starts with that.
That's just the kind of thing he likes.
Yeah. What you mean off of the album? You mean?
No, like there's an extract you gave me.
Oh,
I can't remember which one it is.
I think there's a couple.
I think it might be one later.
With someone later.
Because there's one I think that at some point just starts with, and I know I flinched when we were listening to it. It was just.
That's a lot of this sort of wave of hip hop, I think.
Sounds like they've been drugged, and then I'm just going to do some bars now, and then I'm going to pass out.
Yeah. Jazz rap / abstract hip hop. In 2019. This came out whilst I was in the first term at uni, and it links to a lot of this type of music I was listening to at this time. And I struggled a lot in that period in sort of just getting used to university, making friends, because I'm naturally quite a shy person. And I think a lot of people in my halls were quite nice. And you're sort of going, well, I'm still trying to get to grips with anything. So I close myself off. But at the same time, I don't want to come across as, like I don't want to talk to these people. They are all very nice. It's just hard to balance those two things. But it's this sort of music that I guess sort of orchestrated that, not orchestrated, that makes it sound like it was pulling the strings, but soundtracked, probably the better term, this time in my life. And I think a little bit like maybe some of the ones I've used before, in that the vibes are just very cold. and I felt very cold in that time.
Yes.
Mentally, you could argue.
Yes.
Some tracks are a bit bleak. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bleak album generally. I think it just has that vibe sometimes. I feel if you look into it, there are bleak aspects. An album like Some Rap Songs does that very well.
Yes, absolutely.
Let the Sun Talk is also very good. I just don't think it does it as well as Some Rap Songs, personally. There is a track off of this album that's produced by Old Sweatshirt, so there's a connection there. Yeah, I think this came out in a period where Mavi was still sort of up and coming generally. I think now he's sort of known in that underground pool, and he's made a name for himself, which is very cool.
Yeah, good for him.
But I think this is one in which I can probably relate more to my own personal life in terms of wintry feelings and that sort of stuff. Yeah. Was there something else I was going to mention? I think I was going to say that the last track, Nation, it uses a sample of a track where they sing One Nation Under a Groove,
right?
Which I think is a song by are they called Funkadelic? Parliament Funkadelic?
Ooh,
Funkadelic, because they did
so,
Maggot Brain.
Yeah.
I think they have a track called One Nation Under a Groove, or a song at least by that. But I listened to it and I went, oh, that's not actually that track. Or at least when I listened to it, wasn't. And I can't remember if it's been put on Who Sampled. Maybe it is, and I'm just a Google search away. But I didn't recognise it, and I thought it was a cool song. Hear the actual version before sampling. But there you go. Enjoy your 2 points.
Thank you very much.
Gave you. Yeah.
I do remember when I listened to Let the Sun Talk, it was a rare instance for me where I found I could clearly tell what he was doing with his lyrics was incredibly clever. But I think when you've got very, very, very clever rappers doing it versus singer-songwriters, whatever, I think if you're rapping at such a pace for me that I'm sat there and going, no, slow down, I need to understand what you're saying. I think more often than not, 9 times out of 10, I love that because it's like a challenge. But I think the first time I listened to it, I just went, it's too much going on, man. I can't get through to I didn't necessarily understand what you were saying all the time. And rarely for me, it was a rarity. I know I felt annoyed. Just like, give me a chance, man. I want to, you're clearly very good at this. I want to get it. And I felt I couldn't keep up with him.
Fair enough. I think with other sort of singer-songwriter sort of stuff, they're able to, in their music, to have ways of letting certain things sort of marinate on you. If they sort of take a break, you can string things out, whereas with rapping it does strictly have to be quite fast. In my opinion, I think it lends itself to re-listenability, replayability.
Of course it does.
And especially because there's still, tracks by Old Sweatshirt that I've been listening to since I was, 17 that I'll still listen to, and there'll be a line that I notice and go, oh, I'd never noticed that before. That's really clever. And arguably you could say at different points in your life you're hearing those things because they mean different things to you, and so you're picking them out more specifically because of that. But either way, very clever and very talented.
I hope that no one ever has personal connection to divorce lawyers. I shave my head, for example. I wouldn't pray that on anyone.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is extract number 5. Or Fred's extract number 5. Discord is telling me this isn't a word, but I do think it is a word, so I'll leave it.
I thought this was called blah, 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 blah.
This was a jazz blues sort of song.
Okay.
And I couldn't, I do believe, and I couldn't, struggling with the artist. And I've put someone who's very big and very popular.
That's not nice.
Because their voice reminded me of them. Maybe not totally, but it was one of those where if I put someone else just because I was reaching, I wouldn't have been happy with my guess. So I guess Louis Armstrong. Every Time It Rains was a phrase he said in the song, and that is why I've put it as the title. As I say, jazz/blues. I was leaning more on the blues thing because it felt like, chord-wise, it felt similar to rock and roll. But it had the vibe of like a jazz sort of song. So I thought somewhere between that, is it going to be... I initially had skiffle, and then I thought about it for a bit. And I thought... No, I think I'm just putting a genre term in to try and look clever here. I think it's strictly more.
You already
blues.
look clever because you've mentioned it. So well done.
And then 1952.
Yeah, cool. This is a point.
Okay, thank you.
It is a Louis. I wanted to include the song before I knew who it was. I don't actually know who this is, but I do now. It's called Louis Prima.
Oh,
do you know who that is? Yeah, there you go.
I do, yeah. There was a sample on, the Kids See Ghosts album.
Yes.
I think there's a song on that samples a Louis Prima song.
I've got no idea who made that Kids See Ghosts album.
Yeah, we can't talk about that.
Yeah, no, I don't even know. I wouldn't know. It's called Pennies from Heaven. 1936, man.
Wow.
Swing or jazz, that's where you got the point from.
Thank you.
1936. In about 10 years, this will be 100 years old. Is that not
that is
mental?
Scary. It'll be in the public domain as well.
Crazy. Is that not crazy? Everyone, set your stopwatches for about like 10 and a half years' time, 10 and a quarter years' time. Everyone gets sampling this. It'll be free reign. So... The reason why I've included this, Pennies from Heaven, very fun song, sung by a clearly quite jolly Italian-American chap. You're nodding away. Have you noticed something?
No, I was just amused that it's Pennies from Heaven because I was hearing Pandas from Heaven.
Pandas from Heaven. I think that's a more frightening meaning to the song. I guess he's talking about good fortune and things.
Yeah.
But instead of you looked up and you saw pandas raining down, like you go for cover. And you worry about the well-being of those pandas when they land, I suppose. But what's that old myth of, I don't know what the answer to it is if you dropped a penny from the top of the Empire State Building, would it kill someone? I don't know what the answer to that is.
I think Mythbusters proved that false, I think.
Oh, so it wouldn't kill you?
No.
Okay. Well, that's one plan scrapped. The reason why I've included this is it is famously used within Elf, the Will Ferrell film, which is a Christmas classic. I love Christmas, man. Favorite time of the year. It's a very good film. I think at Christmas you forgive films from ever going stale because the best ones remain the best ones. So I would happily rewatch that every single year around Christmas. I'd watch it twice. It's not the best Christmas film. We both know what the best Christmas film is. The Polar Express. See, it's just. I hear people say it disturbs them because it's like Uncanny Valley, the animation style. But to you, I say get over it.
Yeah, just watch it every year for like 10 years.
Just watch it every year. To it. Yeah, Tom Hanks is one of the GOATs, So I could have included music from that, but I knew that you were similarly Polar Express pilled, so I thought that would be too easy. I actually don't have any more to say. It's just very fun. It's a very, very, very happy song. He's having fun as he's singing it, you can tell. I think in the film, it's when he apparently walks from the North Pole to New York. And this is when he first experiments with trying to figure... Is it? It's either when he's on the date. No, it's when he's on the date. He goes on a date. And it's him having fun. And... I might be... It's either when he first shows up to New York and he's going around experiencing things, or it's when he's on the date. Like, he experiences a rotating door for the first time, and he thinks it's like a ride. And so he just keeps running in and just spinning it and spinning it and spinning it and spinning it, and then he throws up. And he encounters... And he'd been warned by Father Christmas not to do this. But he goes to one of the railings near like a subway entrance, and he sees chewing gum, and he's been told they're not sweets. And he takes one off the railing, and he eats it. And he goes... you see his face change as if he goes, "Oh, that's lovely," and he keeps taking old chewing gum off the railing.
Yeah.
And even if that was fresh chewing gum that's been put on that railing, you still stuck it to the railing and then made Will Ferrell put it in his mouth. And that always worries me, that scene a bit.
Put a bunch of like anti-bac wipes on the railing.
I don't think it's enough. Anyway, it's a very good film. We're not in Christmas yet at the time of recording, but when you're listening, watch Elf. This is your sign to watch Elf again. 1 point to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, yeah, you're number 5. This was the one that made me regret not choosing something. And by something, I mean anything off of the Nutcracker. Because this is your classical inclusion, your number 5. Of course, you are a classical music man and you respect Tchaikovsky, but I don't think if you were to make a classical music choice, it would be the Chris play to choose Tchaikovsky. And if this is off the Nutcracker, I didn't recognise it because I think I do know the Nutcracker quite well. But I've made a similar blunder before, most infamously saying that I know Telepath better than anyone. And then you gave me a Telepath extract that I didn't recognise. But if I'm trying to play it like a Chris answer, I'm saying Vaughan Williams. And I'm saying it's just called Winter. Because it's a big incidental piece of music, so maybe it's just called Winter. I said 1922. I said Romanticism, late Romanticism, I suppose. Yeah, that's me.
I'll give you a point for Romanticism.
Thank you.
I think that it's not the genre that I've put, but I think in terms of how it feels like it reflects the Romantic period more so than other periods. This is by a composer I used in my classical game, who I said probably one of my favourites.
Okay.
I would have to say, who at least one of the favourites I would say, if I was speaking to someone who's very knowledgeable about classical music, and I wouldn't want to come across as someone who
I think I know who you're going to use.
Would listen to just Debussy, because maybe it might just be Debussy generally, because he is brilliant, or maybe Vaughan Williams, as you put. But whenever you talk to more classical musicians, you sort of think,
how do I impress you?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I would probably say Francis Poulenc.
Yeah,
this is by.
Cool, nice.
It's a piece from his Sinfonietta.
Little Symphony.
Little Symphony. It's the third movement. I put neoclassical just because that's Poulenc's genre, really.
It is, absolutely.
And there's elements that, whilst I do feel like harmonically it feels very romantic, I do think that there are points where he does things that no romanticist would have done. Like going very evidently away from tonality. 1947 was when this came out. Yeah, I mean, I think, when I was recording the extracts for this, the piece on Spotify that I used to record it, it was in a suite done by musicians that have done other pieces by Poulenc as well. And when I first saw it, I mistakenly thought that the first set of pieces they did was actually the name for all of them. And the name for the first set of pieces is, for those who know Poulenc, famously his most amusing title, you might say. And so if I say Le Bichet, would that make sense? It's 2 words and it's in French. So Les Bichets.
Le Bichet. Bichet.
Would that make sense in your mind?
Does it mean what it sounds like?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
Okay, it means what it sounds like. Okay.
Very derogatory.
Yeah. And more than one of them as well. So, yeah. Plural.
I've never looked into why he called it that. I'm sure there are things online that discuss why it's called that, because it's so out of nowhere. I don't know what Poulenc was
ahead
like
of his
as a
time.
person.
Controversial titles for music ahead of his time.
But this was his Sinfonietta is not from Le Bichet. It's a completely different set of pieces that I played when I was in youth bands, in the orchestras specifically. I definitely enjoyed playing in the orchestras more than...
in a youth band?
We didn't play Le Bichet, we played Sinfonietta. Want to make that clear to whoever's listening. The youth band I went to did not make us play a piece called Le Bichet. I did enjoy the orchestras more than the wind bands. I think it was just from a point of, you're playing music by all the goats, you're playing music by Beethoven, you're playing music by Brahms, all these brilliant composers. And having the chance to do that was brilliant. This was something we discussed in the interim between us listening and making our answers to us starting the game, that I feel like classical music generally feels wintry to a sense.
Yeah, I think so.
And the way that I'd compare it with this track is there's definitely parts of it where the lower instruments, like the cellos and the double basses and all that, aren't playing sort of long drawn out notes. It's very sort of pizzicato and plucky, and I think that lack of bass lends itself to the coldness of winter, I would argue. Yeah, it's a great set of pieces. I'm not sure. I don't think it's necessarily massively popular amongst his catalogue.
Sure.
Compared to, I think his oboe concerto that I played. I think that is a more liked or more well-known piece by him at least. But I don't know. I just like Poulenc, and this is one of my favourites that we played when I was in orchestra. And one of the reasons why I like him as much as I do today. So there you go. Enjoy your point.
Thank you very much. I will do.
And I do believe that we have come to our halfway point.
I agree with you.
This is
where we are.
Where we stop.
Yeah.
And we let you have a breather.
Yeah.
Maybe you're listening to the two parts of the podcast at different times. Or maybe you're going to do a marathon and just do them one after the other, which, heavy respect to you. Please do them with all the others afterwards. Get those listening numbers up.
Yeah, if you really have any guts, right, you'll do a series-long marathon. Yeah?
Do us a favour, please.
Yes. You will play them as method to get you to sleep.
I can see it working, so give it a go.
That's not because we're boring, it's just because we got quite nice voices, hopefully. But,
I'd like for you to think so. Yeah. I've been told.
He has been told, actually. I've been there when he's been told.
So there you go. Join us back in the second half, because it would be weird for you to not follow on.
It would be strange.
Yeah, we've got some great pieces coming up that we don't want you to miss. We want to talk about them. We want you to know that they exist.
I'll give it a cliffhanger to try and make sure people come back. Chris, I have really important news to share with you in the second half.
And we'll leave it there. Credits roll.